Poor baby, you're starting to lose it, aren't you?
My move. Rook to knight 6. Checkmate.
Cheeky bitch.
What's up, folks? This is Justin from Books, Bricks, and Boards, and today I'm going to talk about what you need to have a fulfilling Call of Cthulhu RPG experience. This is my Call of Cthulhu Buyer's Guide. It's time to party like it's 1929.
You the only one who made it?
Not the only one.
First up is going to be the Call of Cthulhu starter set. Now, generally, I'm not a huge fan of RPG starter sets. I buy a lot of them. I don't actually end up using most of them. This one is an exception because it is exceptional. So this has your dice, your character sheets, maps, handouts. It's got a solo adventure that is great, which my last video was about, if you want to check that out. It's also got 3 regular adventures for your players to go through, as well as the basic rules that you're going to need. This is an awesome value. I believe it's around 25 bucks, and they just released a new version. This is only a couple of years old, but they actually released a newer version with a little bit of errata and a freshened up cover. But this is where you're going to want to start every single time.
Where were you, Charles?
Thought I saw Blair. I went out after him.
All right, the second entry is kind of a cheat for me because all 3 of these items are sold together in one package, which is in a slipcase. And if you buy that, you save a little bit of money and you get all 3 of these excellent products together. So I would do this second. Get all 3 of these as one for, I believe it's around 90 bucks. Individually, you could also buy these, but you're going to end up buying all of these anyways. You might as well break down and get the slipcase. This is the Call of Cthulhu Keeper Rulebook. This has technically everything that you need to play the game right here inside of this book. It's got character creation, it's got monsters, it's got some adventures in it, and it's got all of the rules. The Investigator's Handbook, it has some expanded character creation options, and then it also has an entire section devoted to life in the 1920s, which will help immersion in the game. And Call of Cthulhu, more so than any other RPG I've ever played, is about immersion. Lastly, we've got the Keeper's Screen Pack. This is going to have the screen, and it also is going to have some adventures in it, as well as a very handy reference book that has several of the tables compiled in one nice, concise area. So this is number 2. This is going to be the Slipcase starter set.
Fire's got the temperature up all over the camp. Won't last long, though.
Neither will we.
All right, so you've bought the starter, you've got the Slipcase starter set. Now you've got some adventures in those 2 products. You want a campaign. There's some very awesome options out there. This is just a couple. Masks of Nyarlathotep just got a reprint not too long ago. It's an awesome package. It has like a screen and it has handouts for the players all built in. So that's a wonderful option. I chose the Horror on the Orient Express and the Two-Headed Serpent. The Two-Headed Serpent is one that is only going to be useful if you've got Pulp Cthulhu, but if you're wanting to stick to a traditional game, Horror on the Orient Express is an awesome option. You've got an adventure that spans across the globe, has a great storyline, and will keep you guys playing for probably over a year. So the third up is going to be to get a campaign.
How will we make it?
Maybe we should.
And at number 4, here is an example of what you can do with some simple props in the game. And Cthulhu, as I mentioned earlier, is all about the immersion. So the more that you can draw your players in with the props that you provide, the better the experience is going to be. These were made with some very simple tools that I downloaded online. This one came from, or these came from Etsy here. This was from the Cultist's Armory. And then my passport actually came from Drive-Thru RPG. This driver's license actually came from the Cultist's Armory package as well. All of these are extremely cheap. Got a business card here. And they're going to make your players feel like they are living in the 1920s whenever you hand them one of these letters that look handwritten on some older paper. It's much better than just reading it off of a page to them. Another thing is, whenever you're creating their characters, or when they're creating their characters, you want to have some visual references, because again, Cthulhu is all about the immersion. So number 4, get some props.
If you're worried about me,
If we've got any surprises for each other, I don't think we're in much shape to do anything about it.
At number 5, I've got another slipcase. This is going to be the Malleus Monstrorum. Now, this is going to be similar, if you've come from a different RPG, to what you might think of as a monster manual, except this has a lot more information about the activities of the creatures and about the motivations of the creatures, rather than just a stat block. It's got 2 books. The second book is going to be more to the deities, and then the first book is going to be more towards the regular mythos monsters. You're going to have enough enemies to throw at your players to keep them busy for a really long time with this. If you also pick up the Peterson's Guide to the Lovecraftian horror, the field guide, that's going to help make that immersion even better. But this here is going to be my number 5. This is the Malleus Monstrorum, which is the Cthulhu Bestiary.
what do we do?
Why don't we just wait here for a little while? See what happens.
Okay, and here is my honorable mention. This is going to be not for everybody, but for those that have a taste for it, this is going to be an amazing purchase. Either one of these. So Pulp Cthulhu allows you to play more of an Indiana Jones style adventure game where you're not necessarily always running from the monsters as you will be in traditional Cthulhu. You're going to be a little bit more powerful characters and maybe having a little bit more action-packed sessions. You can have whole traditional Cthulhu scenarios where you don't roll a die for combat and you don't really have any direct conflicts with the monsters or the enemies. This is going to be another option that's going to be a similar vein, but if you like westerns, Down Darker Trails, this is an awesome option. I was a little bit bitter towards this one originally because it changed the name of one of my Kickstarter items, which was the Weird Frontiers. It used to be called Dark Trails, and I like that title a lot better. But Down Darker Trails came out before it did, so the folks over at Stiff Whisker Press changed that book, the name of it. But that being said, this is an awesome way to play Cthulhu. There are some really cool character options. It takes some of the gameplay elements from Pulp Cthulhu and brings them right into the Old West and allows you to play a horror game right in the Old West. It also gives some great stats for some historical figures like Doc Holliday and the Earp Brothers, Billy the Kid, and more. So this is going to be something, it's not going to be for everybody, but if it is something that is up your alley, this is going to be an awesome purchase. These are great books, and you're not going to go wrong picking these up. So that is my top 5, as well as my honorable mention for books and items that you should be picking up to play Call of Cthulhu. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, this has been Justin from Books, Bricks, and Boards. Good gaming, and God bless.